So let's talk about this book bundle and why it's a huge advantage for traders at every single level. Because when I got out of college, I didn't take the traditional 9 to 5 route. I actually avoided it. Most people back then didn't know what an entrepreneur was, so it looked ridiculous. But I dug down into trading and I did everything I could to be great at it. It took me multiple years to be profitable and understand how to succeed in the stock market. It's because I didn't understand the two huge concepts that helps traders succeed today. And it's broken down into these 3 books and this one book. I call it the 80-20 rule. Trading is 80% mental and then 20% execution. And this book bundle puts it all together and helps traders get to the goal, the finish line, a lot faster than they would have. They don't have to wait 2 years like I did. So let's explain every single book and what you can expect to find out and understand going inside of it. First off, we got stock market mistakes. Like I said, it took me multiple years to really get things going in the markets because I kept stumbling and falling and making mistakes over and over again. Once I started recognizing those mistakes, then I started avoiding them. Now, you can recognize them very quickly by learning from my top mistakes I see every beginner making in the markets every single time. Using money they can't afford, looking at their P&L too much, looking at people on Twitter, CNBC, YouTube, and following their trades, thinking that they can get there easily and get profitable faster from that. It's all mistakes that people are making that can be easily avoided. This is the mental game changer that beginners and intermediate and advanced traders need. So inside this book, you're going to go over every single mistake. This first book, Stock Market Mistakes, is the 80%, the mental game that nobody works on. So if you want to be successful, this is huge. When I talk about 80%, this means majority of your success will come from your mental game, controlling your emotions, and figuring out what mistakes you're going to have and how to avoid them and be aware of them quicker. Because when I got out in the markets, I made every mistake possible, like most traders do in the beginning. I did not know what was out there. I didn't know what the beginner mentality was. But now that I look back at it, I realize how easily it could have been just to avoid that stuff. If I knew to not look at my screen, the P&L every day, to worry about numbers, I'd be better off today. If I knew not to take out debt to trade, I'd be better off today. There's many more of those mistakes listed in here to help traders understand them and master that mental game faster. Moving on to the execution side of trading. We call this the 20% because recognizing patterns, knowing how to trade them is great. It helps you have a good chance of success. But if you never mastered your mind, it really doesn't matter. So this is the next step after we understand the mental game. So the first book I created, this is my baby. This is 29 of my favorite setups. This is the setups that I lived and died by in the beginning of my first 3 or 4 years trading. These are the most basic patterns that some people see in the markets, but I break them down for everybody out there to help them understand how to execute them. And more importantly, what to be aware of in terms of their failures from veteran traders that have been doing this for multiple years, the things that they see that you may not. We list that out inside this book as well. So these are all my favorite setups from when I first got started out in the markets. Moving on to the next big bad boy, this is Bulletproof Setups 2. This is 19 of my favorite setups, and this is created last year. These are the setups that are a little bit more experienced, a little bit more advanced, a little bit more exciting that you may not find on the internet. These are the most uncommon patterns, but my favorite ones from the most recent years. I've had the most success in my last couple of years trading, and they're mostly from a lot of these patterns you're going to find in this book. And lastly, my next favorite setups book, which is Recession Proof Setups. So this is 21 of my favorite bearish setups in the stock market. I made the first book, Bulletproof Setups, and everyone kept asking me, do these setups work in a bear market? Because we thought the recession was coming, it's probably here now, and people are nervous, they don't know how to trade it. So I made a complete book for those setups, basically flipping the setups upside down, making sure they were only for bear markets. And so these are going to help traders understand how to maximize and excel in a market that is crashing. And I love this book because right now we're seeing a market crash. We always see uncertainty in the market, but this is a great time to have this book in your pocket. So as you saw earlier in the video, I was reading this book to my son, and I think it's huge to get started out in the right foot. So all these books are extremely cheap for you, the cheapest you can find them, and they contain an audiobook of Stock Market Mistakes, which is 4 hours to help you understand how to master your mind. So be sure to grab this book bundle today, because the price we have it at right now will not be that low extreme price we see forever. So I hope to see you on the inside, and I hope this book bundle takes you to the next level. Peace out, traders.